I, Alexander, son of Philip, am no ordinary man. I have conquered vast empires, from the shores of Greece to the sands of Persia. My armies have never faltered, my spirit never broken. My legacy is not just in the land I ruled, but in the ideas I spread, the cultures I united, and the world I reshaped. I am Alexander the Great, and my story is not yet finished.
Alexander the Great, his epic journey and legacy. Alexander the Great, also known as Alexander III of Macedon, was one of the most legendary figures in history. He was a military genius, a visionary leader, and a skilled diplomat. Born in 356 BC in Pella, Macedonia, Alexander was the son of King Philip II and Queen Olympias. From a young age, he showed exceptional leadership skills and was trained in all aspects of warfare by his father. As the heir to the throne, Alexander had big shoes to fill, but he surpassed all expectations and went on to become one of the most successful conquerors in history. Early life and education. Alexander was born into a royal family, and from the beginning, he was destined for greatness. His father was a powerful king, who had conquered most of Greece and had plans to expand his empire further. Alexander's mother was a princess from Epirus, and had a strong influence on her son's life. She instilled in him a sense of pride and ambition, and he grew up believing that he was meant for greatness. At the age of 13, Alexander's education began under the guidance of the Greek philosopher Aristotle. He studied a wide range of subjects, including philosophy, science, mathematics, and literature. But what interested Alexander the most was military strategy and tactics. He was a quick learner and absorbed all the knowledge like a sponge. Aristotle once said, "I am indebted to Philip for giving me the opportunity of educating princes." Rise to power. In 336 BC, when Alexander was just 20 years old, his father was assassinated, and he became the king of Macedonia. His first act as king was to eliminate all potential threats to his throne. He executed his half-brother, who was next in line to the throne, and also killed several other nobles who were plotting against him. Alexander's ruthless actions showed that he was not afraid to do whatever it takes to maintain his power. With his position secured, Alexander turned his attention to fulfilling his father's dream of conquering the Persian Empire. In 334 BC, he led his army of 35,000 men into Asia, and thus began his legendary military campaign. Alexander's military campaigns were nothing short of remarkable. He was a master strategist and knew how to exploit his enemies' weaknesses. He used a combination of speed, surprise, and superior tactics to defeat much larger armies. Alexander's first major victory came at the Battle of Granissus, where he defeated the Persians and opened the door for his army to march further into Asia. Over the next few years, Alexander's army marched through Asia Minor, Syria, and Egypt, conquering every city and kingdom in its path. The cities that resisted were ruthlessly destroyed, while those that surrendered were spared. Alexander treated the conquered people with respect and even adopted some of their customs and traditions. This helped him win the hearts of the people and made it easier for him to rule over his vast empire. In 331 BC, Alexander defeated the Persians once again at the Battle of Gaugamela, after which the Persian king, Darius III, fled, and Alexander became the ruler of the Persian Empire. He continued to expand his empire, conquering Bactria, Sogdiana, and the Punjab region. However, his ultimate goal was to reach the edge of the known world, and that is exactly what he did. Journey to the edge of the world. In 326 BC, Alexander and his army crossed the Hindu Kush mountains and entered the Indian subcontinent. His goal was to conquer the powerful kingdom of India, but he faced fierce resistance from the Indian king, Porus. In the Battle of Hydaspes, Alexander and his army were greatly outnumbered, but they managed to defeat Porus and his elephants, thanks to Alexander's brilliant tactics. After conquering India, Alexander's army refused to go any further, and he was forced to turn back. He was disappointed that he could not fulfill his dream of reaching the edge of the world, but he had achieved more than anyone could have imagined. He had conquered most of the known world, and his empire stretched from Greece to India, making him one of the greatest conquerors in history. Death and legacy. In 323 BC, at the age of 32, Alexander's life was cut short by a sudden illness. His death is still a mystery, with some believing that he was poisoned by his opponents. Whatever the cause may be, his death marked the end of an era and the beginning of another. Alexander's legacy lives on, and he is still revered as one of the greatest military leaders in history. Alexander's conquests had a significant impact on the world. He spread Greek culture and language throughout his empire, which had a lasting influence on the regions he conquered. He also founded several cities, including Alexandria in Egypt, which became centers of learning and culture. Alexander's military tactics and strategies are still studied and admired by military leaders today. In conclusion, Alexander the Great was a true legend in every sense of the word. He was a fearless leader, a brilliant strategist, and a visionary ruler. His military campaigns were nothing short of remarkable, and his legacy continues to inspire people even today. He may have died at a young age, but his achievements will never be forgotten.